Let me know. You're presenting juncture. Is that right? Is that the right pronunciation for juncture?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yes? Okay,
Mhm.
great. Can you say your names, please? The people in this group?
Um, Catalina Toro, Alejandra González, Ignacia González, and Natalie Robolledo.
Okay, perfect. So once you're ready, just start.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Natalie Robolledo speaking here, and we're going to talk about the topic of juncture. And first, to introduce, I would like to say that in many phonetics and phonology books today, the study and analysis of juncture do not take place anymore. So it was a little bit difficult to find a lot of information about this topic. And in we are going to talk about the juncture definition. Sorry. Then we are going to talk about the typology, then the symbols of juncture, and finally some exercise for you.
Alejandra here. So we start with the definition. Juncture is a pause or delay in a continuous flow of speech, and also is another type of suprasegmental phoneme and signifies transition between the segmental form or word, phrase, and glosses. Also, juncture are used to demarcate words or other grammatical units. The term juncture distinguish word boundaries and is represented by the plus symbol and three types of pause in connected speech. It enables learners to distinguish between utterances which are identical in pronunciation and its different meanings. So here we have the structure, juncture phonemes in English language. It is divided in two parts: internal juncture and terminal external juncture. Uh, that will be explained in more detail later with my classmate.
Okay. Hello everyone. It's Katarina here. Now I'm going to talk about the juncture typology. As Alejandra said, there are two types of junctures, okay? Internal and terminal ones. However, the internal juncture is subdivided into two categories, open and closed juncture, as you can see in the PPT. Well, the open juncture is a transition or movement that occurs at word boundaries among words. It doesn't have a continuous movement, so there is a pause or a stoppage of the last sound till it blends with the next. And the open juncture is symbolized by the sign plus. That's very important too. On the other hand, closed juncture, which is also called closed transition or normal transition, it is a transition, sorry, from one sound to another within the same word. Its movement is continuous and it has no intermittent pauses or delay between sounds. And in this case, there is no sound used for closed juncture phoneme in phonetic transcription. And here we have some examples of open and closed juncture. I'm going to read number 1 and number 2, and then I'm going to need some volunteers to read the following ones. Well, first we have about, which it's an open juncture example, and then we have about. The second example in open juncture is syntax, and in closed juncture is syntax. I don't know if you can differ or notice, but you will. And then I need some volunteers to read number 3. Or should I pick up someone? Miss Sophia?
Yes.
Can you read number 3, please? Open
Okay.
and close.
So open juncture for number 3 would be wetness, and closed juncture wetness.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect mix. Thank you. I can see the participants, so I'm going to choose someone. Give me a second, please. Cedo, are you here?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you be so kind to read number 4, please?
Yes. Okay. Sweetheart. Sweetheart. I don't know if it is okay.
Yes. No. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Guillermo Martinez, are you here?
Yes,
Could you read number 5, please?
yes. Real eyes.
And close juncture, please.
Uh, real eyes.
Yes, that's good. Thank you. And finally, Javiera Triviños, are you here?
Yes.
Could you read number 6, please?
Okay. A blackbird. A blackbird.
You're absolutely right. Yes, it's okay. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I was mute. So next we have the terminal juncture, and we have the rising juncture, in which the pitch goes up in question. Then we have the falling juncture, in which marks the end of a sentence. Then we have the sustained juncture, which is a pause between or among the words. And then we have the rise fall juncture, which is used with WH questions. And finally, we have the fall rise juncture, which is used with declarative questions. And here we have some examples. In the right, as you can see in the examples, you can see an arrow going up or down. And in the first one, you can see that in the rising, you say something in the intonation is like, it was great. And maybe you're asking yourself, what is the difference between each phrase? And in the first one, you are giving an end of utterance, and in the second one, you are giving an interrogative intonation. Sorry, and maybe you can see that it's a statement, but the intonation change the question, change to a question. So knowing this now, can someone help me reading the following and trying to use the correct intonation, please?
I can.
Okay.
It was great.
Great. And then, thank you so much. Then we have the sustained juncture phoneme, in which, as I said before, only shows the pause between the phrase. So the coach, who is in charge of the team now, will resign at the end of the season. Then we have the rise fall juncture phoneme, and as you can see in the beginning of the sentence, you will have to use up intonation, and then you have to go down. Can someone try to read this, please? I can choose a person because I can't see them. So
Professor Bruno,
Yes.
can you will you be so kind to read the rise fall juncture phoneme, please? Example.
The one that says what time?
Yes.
What time does it start? What time does it start?
perfect. And finally, we have the fall rise juncture phoneme, in which the intonation is down, and then we go up. She called but didn't talk.
Well, it's Ignacia here, and other less common typology that exists, and it's represented by those symbols. The first one is the single bar juncture, and it indicates that there is a need for a slight pause through the sentences. Sorry for my chicken, okay? I'm so sorry for the noise behind. The background noise. Okay, so this single bar juncture indicates the need for a slight pause among the words of the sentence, and the level pitch, there is level pitch before this pause. Then we have the double bar juncture that indicates the need for a longer pause between the words of a sentence, and there is an upturn before this pause. Then we have the double cross juncture, and this indicates that there is a drop in the pitch, and the passing time responds to a need for a semicolon, a colon, or a period. The next one, please. Natalie. Okay, thank you. Well, here we have some examples, and the first examples are about the single bar juncture. And this is a slide pass, as I told you before. Well, I'm going to read the first one, and then I'm going to ask someone, or if there is any volunteer, you can read it, okay? We visited our students who are, okay, this is the first sentence, and now the second one. Who wants to read this sentence? Or I should pick someone.
I can read
would
it.
like to try. Oh. I mean, anyway.
Sorry.
Whoever you, I don't mind. You pick.
No, go ahead. You can read the second one.
Okay. One of the students who are absent are sick.
Great, perfect. And then the third one. Who wants to read that?
I can. One who gets irritated easily is unhappy.
Perfect. Okay, and now we're going to read the second the second part of these examples about the double bar junction. Who wants to read the first sentence of this double bar junction? No one? Javiera, Leon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Could you read that sentence, please?
Yes. Okay. The first gentleman, Miguel Arroyo, is also known as Jose Vidal.
Perfect. And the second sentence, Daniel, could you read that sentence, please?
Yes. Mr. Ronald Pascual, the singing professor, teaches English.
Well done. Thank you. And then the double cross juncture. Is there any volunteer who wants to read this sentence? Sorry. Could you read the sentence? No. Catherine Madurana?
Yes. Sorry, I
Oh,
have problems with
sorry.
my internet.
Okay, don't worry.
Which sentence?
The double cross juncture. It starts the study or
I
lesson.
studying your lesson. Otherwise, I'll fail you. That one.
Okay, thank you. It's okay. And the next one. Catherine Madurana, could you read the last sentence, please?
Yes, but before I'm not sure. I mean, the first example, it was with one bar is just like a pause, like a comma or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah,
Yes.
the two bars is like a longer pause or
Yeah.
something,
Right.
and the last one.
It's when we have a colon, a semicolon, or a period. As you can see here in the two examples that there is a semicolon. So you have to just do a pause
Okay.
between this word.
Okay, so now I can read.
Okay.
If you can't say something good of your brother, better say nothing of him.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your participation. Could you change the slide, please? Thank you. Well, I have two examples here. Well, two sentences. And anyone who can tell me the difference between those sentences? I mean, if you want, if you can read it. I mean, Guillermo, could you read the first one?
Yes, my accountant said the engineer is sick.
And could you tell me who is sick?
The engineer.
The engineer. Perfect. And Catalina Salcedo, are you there? No. Javiera León?
Yes.
Could you read the second sentence and tell me the difference?
Okay.
Tell me who's sick.
My accountant said the engineer is sick, and the accountant is
sick?
sick.
Perfect. So as you can notice here, juncture is very important because if we don't use it correctly, the information can be misunderstood. There could maybe a misunderstanding in the information that we want to say. So this is just to keep it in mind. The next one, please.
It's Katarina Tera here again. Then we have some listening exercise for you. You can put your answers in the chat box, or you can turn on your microphone if you want to. Okay. We're going to put the audio twice. Are you ready? Yes. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Here we go.
I can't hear the audio.
Same.
Oh, I think we have some technical problems. Natalie is going to fix it. Just wait a second, please.
No worries, take your time and fix the problem. But if you can't play the audio, maybe you can say the words or phrases. That's an option in case you cannot fix the problem.
Maybe you need to stop sharing and share again, this time including the sound, clicking on the box. Did you include the sound at the very beginning of your micro teaching?
Yes, I put the sound, but I don't know why you can hear. Okay.
It sprays, so be careful.
Can you hear now?
Yeah.
There you are.
Yes.
Yes, and so I will put the audio 2 times, and you have to say the correct answer.
It sprays, so be careful.
Oh, sorry. Well, as you can see as an error, the first one is letter A.
Daniel, could you please read the correct answer?
Letter A.
Yes, the sentence, please.
It sprays, so be careful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the next audio, please.
He said iced ink. He said iced ink.
So which do you think is the correct answer? Letter A or B?
I think it's B.
Let's see. Yes, it's letter B. You're right. And the third exercise, please.
We'll own a lot. We'll own a lot.
What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, Guillermo said A, letter A. Daniel said letter A. Catherine, letter A. Evita Treviños said letter A. And you were right. It was letter 8. Perfect. And the other one, please.
We may cough soon. We may cough soon.
Okay, Javiera Guillermo Martinez said letter A. Daniel Duque said letter A too. Catherine, letter 8. So we are going to see what is the correct answer. Yeah, it was letter 8. Thank you, guys.
So here we have more listening exercise. So listen the audio, please.
A great ape. Great ape.
So which do you think is the correct answer? Letter A or B?
I'll go for letter A. A grade A.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's what I understood from the audio.
Um, so so the correct answer is cha-cha-cha-chan. Yes, it's letter B. Miss Sophia, could you read the sentence, please?
For the first example, right?
Yes, the correct.
Okay, so it says letter A, a grade A.
Thank you. So the next audio, please.
I am keen on your crimes. I am keen on your crimes.
Katarina said letter A. Daniel Duque, letter A. So the correct answer is cha-cha-cha-cha. Yes, it's letter A. So Angela, could you please read the correct sentence, please?
Okay. I'm keen on your crimes.
Thank you very much. So the next audio, please.
A lovely plump eye. A lovely plump eye.
Which do you think is the correct answer? Letter A or B? Yes, letter A is the correct answer. Catalina Salcedo, could you please read the correct answer? Or any volunteer?
I can do it.
Please.
A lovely plump eye.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Now, let's see if someone can remember what is the open and closed juncture. Can someone tell me, please?
Now, is someone remember the difference between open and closed juncture?
Yeah. I think ice cream is open and ice cream is closed juncture.
Let's see. You're right. And can someone tell me the second one here?
I can.
Okay.
The first word, nitrate, is closed juncture, and nitrate is open juncture, I think.
Let's see. Perfect. And the third one here, arrest and arrest.
Close and then open.
Good. And the final one?
Open and close.
Open and close.
Very good. And this is the end of our presentation. Thanks for your attention, and that's all.
Very much,
Your
guys.
participation.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You did it very well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Catalina, Natalie, and Alejandra. You did very well. It was a wonderful presentation. I could remember a lot about Juncture. And I don't know if your classmates have comments or questions. Anybody? No questions?
Mm-mm.
No?
It
Or
was
comments?
good, but it was a little bit difficult. I mean, at first it was difficult to understand, but it was good with the examples and the exercises.
Okay, great. And what about the micro teachings in general? Comments? What can you say? How was the experience for you of presenting this micro teaching on this very specific topics? How did you feel?
I think they were very useful because we can put on practice our pedagogical skills, maybe, and then we can learn about different topics. Yes, I think it was a great experience, at least for me.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Open microphones. Comments regarding the micro teaching sessions? How did you feel? Was it difficult for you? Something that you can improve? Or maybe if you could identify
one weakness, one strength?
I think it was interesting to learn these different topics with different people. I think it made it more dynamic. So I really enjoyed every micro teaching lesson. Sorry.
Hey, thank you, Danielle. Anybody else? I would like to hear your comments. How did you feel? How was the experience? What was the most difficult for you since you're teaching online? All these micro teaching sessions were online. Something that I never experienced during my micro teachings. Comments?
Yes, probably that was a thing, but yeah, I think all of us we did it a, a good job, and in my case, I it was useful to me to learn about my classmates' skills and some way take some strategies or something to the future.
Yes, you're right, Catherine. Strategies, and somebody said pedagogical skills. So in this case, when you're teaching online, what skills are necessary or essential? What do you think? Or what strategies to apply are essential when teaching online?
I think you need to in some way make a good use of your voice, and also to give the students. I think that it's a very important thing because teaching online it could be very difficult. I think because you can. I don't know how to say it in English. Distraerse very fast. Sorry.
Okay, you can get distracted easily, right? Is that what you were trying? And you also mentioned that it is important to use our voice. I believe that, well, of course, that as teachers, our most important and necessary tool is our voice, right?
Sorry, Miss, we listen to you, but very far away.
Can you listen to me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
now loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So somebody said that we need our voice or to make use of our voice, and as teachers, our most important tool is our voice, right? More in this case of online teaching. So I would like to listen to some of you who didn't participate during the micro teaching session. So what can you say about your micro teaching presentations? What was the most difficult part, and how do you think that you can improve that? Let's discuss for some minutes.
Maybe something that is really complicated is that we need to consider a plan B and C in case of something, because sometimes the audio is not working and you have to improvise. In my case, I realized that when I started looking for the audio files that I have on my phone, on my cell phone, and I put it close to the microphone, but I realized it a little bit late, almost at the end of my presentation. So it was useful, but like I didn't thought about it. I couldn't do it in a better way.
Okay, thank you, Guillermo. You are right, because anything can happen, not only during online lessons, but also when you are teaching face to face. So you should always have a plan B, C, or D, or E in case that anything could happens. Sometimes we have poor connection, our microphone is not working, or, well, many things. So you should always have a plan B or C or more plans for the class. Anybody else who would like to come to say something?
Yes, me. I was wondering, and I realized that it's important to have the attitude to be the class more dynamic or have the attention of our audience. So to catch the audience, it's important to catch the students. It's so important when with all kind of types of teaching, online teaching or present. Yeah, I think so. It's the most important thing to have the attitude to catch the audience.
Yes, so as one teacher said to me some time ago, teachers are the greatest pretenders. So you should be dynamic and have the attitude to convince your audience about what you're presenting and what you're teaching, and to keep them paying attention and focused on what the class on, or I'm sorry, on what you're talking about. You know. Thank you for your comment, Angela. Um, One piece of advice: always give time to your students to answer, okay? Sometimes we think that there are no more answers and nobody wants to make a comment, but it has happened to me. Okay, so remember to give time to your students to practice and to answer. Anybody else who would like to add a comment about your strengths, your weaknesses during these micro teaching sessions? I will read Catherine's message. She says it was a chance to face what teachers are facing every day during online lessons, which is ask something and nobody answers. That is the most difficult part for me. I don't know if you have seen this or if you have felt it, but it is difficult to ask and to receive no answers. We don't know if you're there or if you're sleeping or if you're doing something else. So that's why I always encourage you to participate with your classmates, to open your microphones and to share your answers. More comments?
I think that sometimes it is useful to have something to break the ice or to find someone who can speak, because sometimes the people need someone who start talking and then the rest start talking. But if you don't do it, nobody will do it. I mean, in the sense that you may have to find some students at first that are more likely to participate, and then the rest will join to the class.
Yes, you're right, Guillermo. Thank you for your comment. And Professor Ramirez said, how to motivate your audience. What are your ideas? Can you share your ideas with the rest of the class? Think about it. How can you motivate your audience in this case of online teaching? What strategies can you think of? How can we motivate our students to participate during online sessions?
I think that one good way to motivate them is to play games. For example, I was very motivated and like to participate a lot when there were some Kahoots, and I wanted to be the best in the class, like a small competition. I liked that.
Thank you, Javiera. Yes, Kahoot activities are quite fun, and that's a good way to motivate our students. We can use Kahoot at the beginning of the class or at the end of the class, and it's a useful tool. Anybody else? How can we motivate our students when teaching online? Javiera said to play games, to use Kahoot. Any other strategy? I'm sure that the answers that you can share now will be extremely useful for me and for the rest of the class.
I think that it is important not to just do games. I mean, some teachers make sure that they are asking their students while doing the class, like a lot. So they keep like they are they are they keep in a state of alert, because if they are sleeping or not paying attention and the teacher asks you something, you will look like an idiot. So I think that a good strategy is to ask a lot to your students while doing the class, even though they may hate you for it.
Okay, Pablo, yes, you're right to ask a lot to see if they are paying attention or not, if they're sleeping, right? So, thanks for your comment or piece of advice. Yes, I would like to ask some of you some questions regarding the topic of junctures. So, few questions. Open your microphones. You can participate, and let's see. So, the first question is, what is juncture? Does anybody remember what is juncture from the last presentation?
I think I'm not really sure, but I think that juncture was like a small pause in the middle of a sentence or a speech or a phrase.
Okay, what does the girls in charge of juncture can say? Is that answer right? Is it to make a pause between words or sentences or phrases?
Yes, she's right.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. How many types of juncture do we have?
Two
It was
main
part of it. Oh,
types,
sorry. Guillermo, yes?
open and closed junctures.
Open and close juncture, yes. Inside internal juncture, we can find open and closed juncture. And what is the difference between open juncture and closed juncture?
That in the open juncture, there's a small pause in the middle, like a black bird, and in the closed juncture, it's like only one word. There's no pause. There's like blackbird, and also they means different things if we put it in context.
Thank you very much. Guillermo, you're right. And one more question. If anybody would like to participate, here I have the question ready. Let me see. What is the sign for open juncture? When we transcribe a word and we include juncture, what is the sign for open juncture? Or symbol, we can say.
For the open juncture is the plus.
Yes, Catherine, you're right. We have the plus symbol for open juncture. And what happens with closed juncture? What's the symbol for closed juncture? Let's see if anybody remembers. What's the sign for closed juncture? Not the people who presented, okay? But the rest of the class.
It has no symbol, I think.
Yes, closed juncture has no symbol or no sign. There is no symbol for closed juncture. Perfect. Thank you for your participation. And well, I found one more question if anyone would like to participate. And we have some symbols for juncture. So can you mention what were the symbols for each one of the three types of juncture? Let's see if anybody remembers. There were three important symbols for juncture. So if you can mention them.
Yes. the the slash, one slash, two slash, two slashes, and the one that is used for hashtags. I don't know what is the name of the symbol.
Yes, perfect, Catherine. And Javiera was answering in the chat, and Danielle was answering too. So yes, we have a single bar. You can say a single bar juncture, double bar juncture, as you said, two slashes, and a double cross juncture. And I don't know what's the name for that symbol. Let's see if Professor Ramirez could help us with the answer. Professor,
I think the
you
group
there?
called. Yes, I think the group call it double cross, and many people call them hashtags these days because of the they use in Twitter, but I think it's called double cross, as opposed to yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So it can be a hashtag or a double cross symbol. Perfect. Thank you very much. So final activity, just to remember the topic that your classmates already presented. I would like to invite all of the participants in the class to think about more examples in which juncture occurs, okay? So I will provide the first found, and it's a song that is part of an old advertisement from 1925. And I will ask you to please identify the words that have this phenomenon of juncture. So pay attention, listen carefully. It's an old song, so I'm not sure if you could listen to it quite well, but you can tell me.
Now, I scream, you scream, we all scream, right, scream, rock, rock, boogie, wow, 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 wow.
Could you listen to it? I'll play it one more time. My dear participants, did you listen to the audio?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so let's listen one more time. What does it say?
Now, I scream, you scream, we all scream, right, scream, rock, rock, boogie, wow, 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 wow.
What does it say? Can anybody tell me? Or do you need to listen to it one more time? Should I play it one more time?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Okay. Here I go.
All holler, come on, let's go. I scream, you scream, we all scream, right, scream, rock, rock, boogie, wow, 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 wow.
What about now? Can you identify the phrases in the song? Or what does the song say? Anybody? I think I know this song. Professor Ramirez, you think you know the song? Really? It's from very old advertisement. What does it say? Can you share your answer with the rest of the class? No, I was not
Sure.
trying to say this here. No, that was not my
I think it's I scream, you scream, because I think the song is about ice cream, but the first part is I scream, you scream, and I think the last part is ice cream, the cold, solid thing we eat when we are hot or we're thirsty.
Yes, you're
Is that
right.
right? Is that wrong?
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
So
The song says, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. You see? So where can we find juncture in this song? Ice cream. We can try to convey the meaning of I scream, or we can be talking about food, ice cream. It's a quite similar sound. Can you provide more examples to the class about juncture? What about the rest? Can you think about more examples in which juncture can occur? Phrases, for instance? Your classmates said real eyes and realize. It's a very similar pronunciation.
Miss Sophia,
Yes?
related to the song that that you played, there is like another song from 21 Pilots.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard before, but it's called Forest, and it said something similar, but not they're not scream for ice cream.
So what's the phrase that they use in the song? Can you tell us?
Yeah, ice cream, you scream, we all scream, and then said something different.
But that is part of the song of 21 Pilots?
Yes.
Oh, so it's the same phrase.
Yes.
I mean, the same chant. Okay, nice. You see? And anybody else? Commas, we have one example by Guillermo in the chat box. Commas are important people. Commas are important people. Excellent example. Thank you very much, Guillermo. Anybody else? It's not difficult to find examples of juncture. There are plenty. I have another one. I can say a nation or a nation. What's the difference? Listen carefully. A nation, a nation. Can anybody tell me? What am I trying to say in the first example and in the second one? A nation, an Asian. Let's see how are your listening skills.
The second one is related with a demographical or geographical process, like when a country takes territory from another country, or not?
Yes, perfect. A nation, exactly, Guillermo. And the second one?
The other one was a nation, like a country, a nation.
Not really. It was an Asian, a person that comes from Asia. A nation and a nation. Let's see, we have one more example from Catherine. Let's eat, kids. Let's eat, kids. That's a quite fun one. And Professor Ramirez wrote, the nurse said the woman was pregnant. Who is pregnant? Okay, let's listen again. The nurse said the woman was pregnant. Who is pregnant? The nurse or the woman?
The nurse.
The nurse.
The nurse, right? The nurse is pregnant. More examples? The rest of the class? Look for some examples. It's not difficult. I have one more. It swings its wings. Not very difficult. I'll repeat it one more time. It swings its wings. What am I trying to say? In both cases, you can write in the chat box. Listen carefully. It swings its wings. What can you say? Should I repeat it one more time? Did you understand? It swings its wings. Perfect, Pablo. Thank you very much. Those were my two phrases. Thank you very much, Angela. It swings and its wings. Super. Catalina, you are right. It swings and it sings. But what about you? Do you have one example? Just one? Let's see, Javiera Triviños. Can you provide one example of juncture to the rest of the class? Or Ignacia, Catalina, Pablo? A different example for juncture. It can be a phrase or a sentence. Let's see, Daniel says, a name, a name. A name and an aim. Super, thank you very much. Somebody else? Professor Ramirez, I'm sure you have plenty of examples to share with the rest of the class. You're the specialist here.
Yeah, I have some. I just wanted to talk about something which was mentioned by Catherine that she was not so sure of, and it was a specific slide that was shown by the group that I shared in the chat box, and to make a comment about this, that the identification of juncture, or where the pauses are in speech, is quite connected with punctuation. In the first set, if you are looking at the image that was this was in one of the slides given by the group delivering the presentation, right? The micro teaching, sorry. So in the first group, it was a slight pause. Usually, we may take a look at it from the perspective of punctuation as a comma, right? And in the second group, with the double bars, we're looking at, if you look at it at this second group from the point of grammar, we're looking at restrictive or non-restrictive clauses. If you remember your grammar classes or análisis de las formas classes, right? You may remember what a restrictive and non-restrictive clauses are. The ones that, provide essential information. Because in the second group, we can say the first gentleman is also known as Jose Pidal. But then Miguel Arroyo adds additional information. So the double bar juncture is connected with restrictive and non-restrictive clauses. So you may make a connection between this part of the class or of juncture with your grammar classes or análisis de las formas classes. And in the third group, also punctuation helps us to identify a longer pause, because in general, you will see a semicolon. If you pay attention, study your lesson, there is a semicolon there, right? So a semicolon or a period, right, will give you a clue that the pause that needs to be made is longer than in the previous examples. In the last example provided by this team, the micro teaching team, right, there's also a semicolon. So it's very relevant, I would say, or useful to connect these contents with punctuation, as punctuation can help us to identify where the pause is and how long the pause should be, right? That's what I wanted to add, because it's a connection that, the more clues you have, the better for us to understand a linguistic phenomenon. That's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. So this is the end of the class. Just one piece of advice. Remember about the comments that your classmates shared with the rest of the class about what strategies are important or how can we make the lessons more engaging. And you said that we should always have a plan B or C, and we need the attitude to be to manage the class. We should be dynamic and we should give time to our students to answer it. We should connect with the class, and somebody said to keep them alert. So we have more comments. Anybody who would like to say something? Questions?
Miss Sophia?
Yes.
I really want to congratulate everyone for the market teachings. I know that these are not to work in designing, planning, delivering, preparing a sort of evaluation and feedback is not easy. So I really appreciate the work that has been done by all the groups preparing their market teaching. That's one thing that I wanted to mention. The second thing is that in this methodology, which is basically learning about a project, which is designing a micro teaching, myself, maybe you, Miss Sophia, become facilitators, because the ones who are teaching are the students. They are teaching each other, right? So it's a very interesting aspect to consider, that as you did in the end, you provide questions, you provide reflection, but the ones who are teaching, the concepts are the students to other students. So that is an essential aspect of this type of methodology, which is called in Spanish aprendizaje basado en proyectos, or PBL in English. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, that very short, is that I don't agree much with the concept of pretender for teachers, because being a pretender has sort of a dishonest, some sort of negative connotation, and I think that we're not trying to cheat students as pretenders, but we are more like facilitators, on my perception, or actors or actresses, because we are facilitating the process and not teaching students, pretending to be something that we're not. So that's something that I wanted to just make a comment about. That's all on my part. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks for your comments, Professor Ramirez. And well, same, congratulations to everyone who presented during these micro teaching sessions. I really enjoyed all the presentation that I could see. And that's it. Congratulations, excellent work, and very good and well prepared activities. So I'll see you next Friday, right? Have a nice end of the week. Enjoy your weekend, and see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Miss. See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Have a good
Goodbye.
weekend.
You
Take care.
too.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.